Everybody's Lance Hayes with Sports Social Live, and in this episode, I'm gonna discuss why the Texan fans need to stop blaming the refs. Let's get it. Hey everybody, it's Lance Hayes with Sports Social Live, and I'm tired of seeing the Texans fans blaming the ref. As a huge Texans fan and somebody who loves the team dearly, through all the fiascos, I've traveled around the world, been deployed with the Texans jerseys and things on my back as we were in bomb shelter. I'm telling you, I love the Texans like everyone who's a diehard fan. But we have to stop blaming the refs for the loss. The Texans lost to the Jaguars this past weekend 24-21 after a 58-yard stupidly called field goal hits the goalpost. I'm not a fan of the field goal being taken, and a lot of other people aren't. I said it when the game was going on. It was a dumb field goal to call when you have CJ Stroud and you have explosive plays occurring frequently. Why take that field goal? But we lost the game nonetheless. And, a lot of fans had a lot of things to say about the game. A big portion of the game was bad play callings from the refs. And I'm a proponent of keeping the refs honest. I made a video about blaming the refs, but I'm tired of the ref talk. Let's get past the ref talk and let's go forward. Because it's not only the refs. The refs didn't just do that to us. They had bad play calls on both sides of the ball, and the Texans benefited from a huge call, really, really. So we cannot continue to blame the refs for the game. But what we can do is see what we could have done better as a team, because quite frankly, we played atrociously in multiple aspects of the game, leaving us open for the refs to pull a no Vaseline type call on our squad. All for everything from the offensive line, who Tyrese Howard blew a crazy blocking assignment, causing CJ to get sacked, and he would end up being hurt later parts of the game. And then you have our defensive backs playing terrible, terrible. Our defensive line not getting too much pressure on Trevor Lawrence and crew. And like, what can you want from that? But most importantly, our coaching staff calling some questionable calls, just passing on third and fourth down, which I don't mind passing, but the types of passing plays did not seem to even give the defense hope that you will run the ball. Going empty on those third and fourth downs is kind of wild to me, especially empty and not even short crossing routes or pick plays that pop open a receiver. Wild. But how we lost the game is more than the refs. It was us playing bad football, our DBs playing bad football, leaving ourselves open to ref effery, and that's what it was. So let's stop blaming the refs, Texan fans. Let's move forward in the week. Let's get on our coaching staff to make better plays, better situational play calls going forward. Speaking of that, let's talk about the situational play callings from our coaching staff. What the hell? Quite frankly, what the hell? Like, I know that the kick was bad. The kick was a bad decision for me. I, Numbers are on our side, but not in that context. I think Cody Stoops said something about the numbers. I just personally, even without thinking about the numbers, knowing that we had Amendola in, he never kicked a 50-yard field goal, which is wild to me because high schoolers are out there kicking 45-yarders, and you have college guys booting it, and the guy just booted through the field goal for 58. So it was hard for me to see that the Texans decided to put that guy out there if he just missed a 50-yard field goal. Like, he's not a 50-yard a long kicker. So why? I don't know. That was situational. The passing plays on third and fourth down and short are interesting to me. I don't know why we chose to do that. The situational play calling there, and then not running the ball more aggressively with Singletary. I was a Damian Pierce fan. I'll be honest with you, I'm more so than a lot of people. But now I get it. I get why you need that Singletary. In our type of offense, you need the pop that Singletary brings. Damian Pierce is more of a different top style back. He's great. He's good. But I would give a fair share of the running to Motor. I mean, I don't know why they went away from that. Maybe there's something going on internally in the team. Slowick's high on him. Why do you not run with the guy who has the motor, the guy who has that half, maybe a quarter of a step on Pierce, just a different style running? And offensive line, they graded out well on PFF, but if you know the offensive line is struggling, just why? Why would you do that? And offensive line wise, I don't know what the heck we got going on there. That was just a wild play calling. Tyus Howard looked terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. I commented on one of his posts online. Yeah, he posts on Twitter. I'm like, man, dude, come on, get out there. And I'm not, and it's no hate to him. I like how he's bringing the energy, giving away tickets to the game. But hey, brother, that wasn't a good showing. Maybe you've been hurt all week. That was not a good showing. I'll tell you to your face. It wasn't a good showing. You can tell me my podcast trash, but that was not a good. It just looked like that. So if he was hurt, hopefully he comes back. Hopefully he's okay. I mean, we spent a lot of money on him. Hopefully it's okay. And Laramie Tunsil was out there. It just seemed like they are all dealing with something and missing half a step on the offensive line. Well, we made up for it with the Juice Scruggs and other players that stepped up to play. So what do you think about the situational play calling from even the positional calling? You know, linebackers were moving, but there's only so much a linebacker can do to help the front seven when you don't have that back end help. I mean, yeah, we got to pick. Stingley got to pick both in consecutive weeks. That's good. More than Sauce Gardner. Okay. But overall, the defensive backs were struggling. And I'm a Jimmy Ward proponent, so hopefully Jimmy Ward is able to come back and assist and help on that back end. But it's only so much you can do if your corners and your corners aren't producing what you need them to produce. So hopefully we can change that. The situational play calling was very aggressive defensively, and which is okay if our offense is able to sustain those drives and score when needed. Yes, the refs impacted the play, shut down the momentum, but that happened for both teams. But speaking of the DB play, it was just sketchy all game. I keep on saying this. DB play was very sketchy. Every time they passed the ball, I was like, man, I hope somebody's there. And that's not what you want from your DBs. That is not what you want from your team. But it was just, I was just hoping somebody was there. And that seemed to be something that might not have been there. But we came out playing slow. CJ had a good game. The receivers had a good game. Tank Dell's balling. So the energy is there from certain players. It looked like they were just flat in different aspects. And hopefully Slowick's able to get it together on his offensive play calling and help out the team a little bit more. I think sometimes you just can't. You got to keep it simple. Use the KISS method. And if it's 4th and 1, pound it up there and nobody will be mad at you. What are we getting fancy for? His dad's a Canadian football coach. Maybe that's what it is. But pound it in there. Let's get it. Get behind your horses. But they have the inside information. So maybe the line just didn't have that push that they saw. Maybe the analytics said differently. He's an analytics guy from PFF. So that's probably why they tried to kick a 58-yard field goal, because the analytics said so. But sometimes you got to put context behind those numbers because they don't always tell the full story or the current situational aspect. So if you want to stay situationally aware about the Houston Texans from a different aspect, a different lens that loves the Texans, follow Sports Social Live. Subscribe, like, share. We follow everything from boxing to football and back. Let's get it.